Hello, all you beautiful maniacs out there. My name is Joshua James, and we are back. With me is my good buddy, Richard.
Hey, I vanished on my little screen. Then I panicked. I thought I'd gone.
It does that when I turn on the camera.
Yeah, I panicked. I thought, where am I? I've gone.
And yes, maniacs, we are back. You're probably all thinking, where have you guys been? How come the Dark Side of the Ring documentaries ended weeks ago? Well, I got a good explanation about that. Richard knows. I had computer problems. By computer problems, one of the plugs actually melted. So I didn't have a computer. Thanks to my good friend Crystal, she fixed it. I have a computer back. Now we can finish the recording and finish our reviews. I did tell Richard, like, if he wanted to do them, he could finish them by himself. But in your words, brother, we finish them together.
Yeah, we started together. We finished together.
So yeah, we're here to finish.
That sounded a bit homoerotic, actually.
Oh no.
What I meant to say was, we started reviewing them together. We will finish reviewing them together.
I knew what you meant.
It didn't sound right when I said it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. I'm just saying it just sounded a bit wrong when I said it.
It's okay. It's okay, brother. It's okay. And we are getting ready to review the Road Warriors documentary. Now, what did you think of this documentary, brother?
I enjoyed it. I mean, as a kid, I thought Legion of Doom, because first time I saw them, what Legion of Doom.
Yeah, they were called the Legion of Doom when I first saw them too.
Yeah, I thought these guys are amazing. You know, as a kid, you see these two big bastards come out with shoulder pads on, with spikes on them and face paint, and you're like, oh, and it was like, yeah. Then obviously, as I don't want to say get old, as I leveled up in age, I sort of got to know the word and saw a lot of stuff from them as the Road Warriors, and it was like, no, they've always been badasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I found out they were doing this episode, it was like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this one, and I did. It was another one of those that it didn't end on as much of a downer as some of the episodes have, which was nice. I mean, obviously, you know, it mentions Hawk's passing at the end, but it wasn't as down as some of the other episodes.
It was still down, but it had a good up too, because it just showed you.
It was more up than down, definitely.
The down part was his Hawk's demons, but the up was that he beat those demons and he could die peacefully.
Yeah,
he was clean. So that's the one thing that was the up part. Even though, unfortunately, Hawk
I suppose, yeah, it was an up, but to me, it was also a down, that he's come through all this, he's beat his demons, he's got himself clean, and then he passes. It's like, you know, if it had been while they were, you know, doing drugs and drinking, you would have expected it. But when he got himself clean and sorted and everything, and then passed it, well, like, no, it's just a shame. But yeah, I mean, it was more, the focus more on the positives of the Road Warriors than, you know, I mean, they obviously had to go into, you know, Hawks drinking and drugging stuff, what have you, but I mean, for the most part, I enjoyed how, you know, finding out how they met up and everything.
Yeah, right. It was actually really cool. You get to learn more about the Road Warriors. Like, I know there was a documentary about them that the WWE made, but there was a lot of things they cut out. So I'm glad there was.
Yeah, I have that DVD. I've not watched it for a long time, so I might have to dig that out. And I'm just looking over at the cupboard where it is, thinking it's in there somewhere. Yeah, I might have to dig that out and give that another watch. But yeah, I mean, it made me laugh how, you know, there's Animal in gym lifting these like loads of weights, and then Hawk just comes over and says, "You should be lifting more than that." And it's like, what? And then that when it banged, they just clicked.
It's like how it's kind of funny. Like by the way, it's nothing like how me and Richard met. We just met through how we love championship belts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I missed the time when Josh were in the gym bench pressing 500. I missed that. Then obviously he missed when I was bench pressing 500. It was just
funny thing is, like, I did used to go to the gym. I could be straight up honest. I don't fit in a gym. Like,
yeah, I used to go to gym. I really enjoyed it. You know, and I got up to a point where I weren't bench pressing like them, but I was doing it on machines, and I got myself up to some nice little weights.
Yeah, I used to do that too myself.
But I mean, to see what them guys were lifting, it were ridiculous. And they were doing it all natural. There were no steroids or anything. Whether they were just two naturally big muscle. Well, not naturally, obviously they went to gym, but
yeah.
I suppose natural because they put the natural effort in to work out and stuff.
But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like it's kind of like how we met without the gym part. It's just like I don't know where we just started talking on Facebook and because of the love for wrestling and championship belts. So
I think it were on some. I'd seen you post on some L group page or something, and then we just got chatting from there, and then we pretty much clicked, didn't we, straight away? Really,
yeah, right away.
Yeah, like a few messages, and then it were
you debuted on my show a month later after we met.
yeah. Then a month later, I lowered the tone of Josh's YouTube show. But yeah, I mean, it's weird how friendships can just start over random things like that. But I mean, those guys were just close from the minute they met. They were genuinely were like brothers, weren't they? And, it's there'll never be another team like them. I mean, like it said in the package, often imitated, and it showed pictures of like other tag teams, and it showed Ascension at end. I felt right sorry for Ascension. I thought they shouldn't be in that because they never attempted to be like Road Warriors.
They were never trying to be like the Road Warriors with Demolition.
No, that
was WWE's creation.
Yeah, I mean, this is a subject for a whole different video. I mean, we've discussed Ascension at great length before.
It's still a shame about that too. It's still such a shame that
they got wasted. Absolutely wasted on main roster. It's a tragedy, but
maybe the Ascension could go to NWA Power and have Road Warrior Animal as their manager.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Like Road Warrior Animal, I don't think he's wrestling anymore or anything, but he can manage them and say like.
I think he does appearances, doesn't he? And he'll sort of go and ring for a minute and like that sort of thing. But I mean, he's still in great shape when you saw him when he was talking.
Oh
he still works out and looks after himself because he was big. And I thought it was pretty cool how it come out that the spikes were his idea as well.
That was awesome. Did not know that.
Packs. Yeah, I went to his mate and said, I need to make me some spikes in these sizes, and he just went home and just braided them into these shoulder pads, painted them up in it like they wear these. And then obviously I put them with Paul Eller, and it was just everything just meshed about that team.
Paul Eller, like what a great talent for a manager. Like he was a wrestler at first, but then he became a manager. Like he has the voice, he has the look of an evil genius manager.
Yeah, I mean it's like he said, didn't he, that everything about them as a group just clicked, and it did. I mean, obviously when I first started seeing him in the Legion of Doom, and Paul Ellering weren't not seeing until after a while. But obviously when they were Road Warriors, he was there with them because it's like they said, he was their genuine manager as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like the legit manager. Booking hotels and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he made sure they didn't get shafted by promoters and stuff like that. I mean, like anybody would shaft them too. Jeez.
If they tried to do that, then they're going to lose a head from those guys.
Wake up in casualty, but
they'll be in the hospital thinking like, "What happened? Oh, you got your ass kicked by the Road Warriors."
Yeah, you screwed the Road Warriors and you ended up here. All right, how long ago was that? That's 6 months ago.
That was 6 months ago. You just you were in a coma for 6 months.
Yeah, this is literally you waking up. But yeah, I mean everything about them. They were just. The one thing I'm surprised that they didn't mention in that documentary was the infamous story of them changing a finish when they were in Jim Crockett Promotions.
Oh no, that was the AWA.
When at the AWA and they went out and they were supposed to lose or something or whatever, it was going to be a DQ, and they were like,
Fabulous ones. I think they were facing the Fabulous one. It's on their DVD from the WWE.
Yeah, it was some big team on it that were well established that they were facing, and they just went out and. Vern Gagne was saying nobody's ever changed a finish on me before, and they're like, well, we just have.
Well, we did.
Yeah, we did it.
And the thing is, I think it had to do with because they didn't like the fact how they were wanting them to lose, and the guys who they were facing, they were probably a big time tag team, but the referee was going to the rules, aka tell them how the match was going to end.
Yeah.
But their opponents were just checking out the girls in the front row and the crowd and all that, the pretty girls and all. And the Road Warriors realized, like, yeah, we're not losing to these guys.
Yeah, so we're just going to break it. And it's like they used to say to opponents, didn't they, before, I'm sorry for what's going to happen out there. You know, you are going to get your asses kicked. And some wrestlers they interviewed and it were like, Godfather again appears on this, and it were like when he said, you're about the finishing move, the Doomsday Device. He's like, yeah, I took it once, and that were enough. But then when he told the story about Vince McMahon that night in the club, when he was taking everybody's finishes, it's like they just got him up on shoulders, and Hawk just dived off at stage and hit it on him in the middle of a strip club. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, Vince really has got bollocks like grapefruit.
Right? I mean,
to take that finisher alone, let alone everybody who he was out with that night's finisher.
Actually, it's funny you say that. This just recently was like, you remember the, what was that? The Gronk, I think that's his name, the football player who won the 24/7 title.
Oh, yes. He were on Family Guy, wasn't he?
Rob
Gronkowski or something.
Yeah. You know that dive he did to win the 24/7 title?
Wasn't that like a Hawk-style flying clothesline type thing?
Yeah. Here's the thing. He wasn't comfortable doing that because he didn't think they were going to catch him. So he got scared and he got cold feet. You know who demonstrated and showed him to do it? Vince, a guy who's in his 70s, getting close to being in his 80s. He took that dive and showed like, yeah, it's safe to do. He did it, and they caught him, and he got up. He's like, see?
Yeah.
Now, for people who talk crap about Vince, a guy who's in his 70s or about to turn 80 jumped off a high dive, showing like, it's safe to do.
Yeah, it's safe to do. Taking it is a whole different matter.
Yeah, I know, but he's just like trying to show like it's not that bad. Like Vince got up and acted like nothing happened. It didn't hurt him. Like it's gonna hurt, but it's like he just got up. It's like,
yeah, but to be fair, Vince doing it is different to Hawk coming off at top rope and just smashing your throat out in it.
Like you want to talk about? You know how he talks about his grapefruits, right?
Yeah.
Well, he got big grapefruits to do that.
Yeah, definitely. But I say when they were on about that, and it's like the best finish. I remember as a kid seeing that finishing move, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is awesome! That is like the best thing I've ever seen." But I mean, tag team wise at the time, theirs was without a doubt the best finishing move out there. It was the whole spectacle of it. Animal just picking anybody up and putting him on his shoulders, and then Hawk just flying off. And it's like they were saying, it's not like you've got a big guy and a cruiserweight. You've got two big guys.
Who can literally tear you apart.
Yeah, and then you've got Hawk flying at you. And it was just, then like, again, it mentioned when they went to WWF and, they had to change the name to Legion of Doom because, they didn't want them to use Road Warrior's name and stuff.
And the funny thing is,
that all came from Hawk watching cartoons, didn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I hate to put the nerd glasses on, but Paul Ellering said he got that from the show He-Man. Well, technically, he's wrong. The Legion of Doom name came from the Justice Friends.
Yeah, listen, I thought Legion of Doom were DC. When he said He-Man, I thought, I don't know, maybe I've got my childhood mashed up slightly.
No, you did not. It's from the Justice Friends. Again, I hate to put the nerd glasses on, but I have to put them on for this one because I used to watch the Justice Friends a lot.
I only know that from
I know I'm in my 30s. I know I'm in my 30s, but they used to have reruns on the show. I used to watch that show all the time, even though this show was cheesy. But I loved it as a kid.
Yeah, I only know it from Family Guy where it pops me with Meanwhile in the Legion of Doom, and it's like not now, and they end up just sinking head again. But yeah, I mean everything about them as a team, like we were saying, were just amazing. And like how they came about with naming everything, it was like well you look like an animal, and it's like, oh, about you, and he's like, I think I'm a hawk, and it was like, yeah, okay, you're a hawk, nobody's going to argue that way.
But the funny thing is, the one thing I did not know, they didn't start off as a tag team in the beginning.
No, they were sent different ways. One went to Jim Crockett, and the
other one to Canada, I think.
Yeah, Stampede.
Yeah.
When Animal that went to Stampede? No, it was Hawk went to Stampede. And Animal was the Road Warrior on his own, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think. I can't remember.
But
and
then
ended up,
then they stopped wrestling for a little bit, and Ole came back, and he thought he was looking at Animal, and he was like, "No, that's Hawk." And he's like, "There's two?"
yeah, you mean there's two people this size? There's two of them. Where can I find more? I need one of these mutant people.
What did you think of Animal's first look? He looked like a member of the Village People
I mean,
with the short biker shorts.
yeah, I mean, both of them. It were, oh, we're going for the biker image. No, you're going for the bikers from the Any Which Way films image.
Yeah.
They didn't look menacing, but you know, like the trout, the long tights and the shoulder pads. That's when they really took off. But it was like when he said that when they were experimenting with the face paint, and then they finally did the animal and the hawk type thing, you know, and it just from there it just took off. But I mean, it's like when they went to Japan as well. They got like a really big.
That's where they also got popular because they look like monsters.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they said, you know, Japanese fans love it, and they love it if they get scared. So they used to scare them on the way down to the ring. But it's like when Hawk picked up that, I can't remember his name, and I probably absolutely butcher the pronunciation if I could.
So forgive us if we get the names wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember them at all. My excuse is I'm old. And he was saying that this guy's huge, and you know, when he picked him up and press slammed him out, the Japanese were like, "Oh," you know, because they'd never seen it.
Was it Giant Baba?
No, I don't think it was Giant Baba because he was like legit huge when he was massive. But it was somebody else who, you know, you didn't see get thrown around, and Animal picked him up and press slammed him, and all the Japanese crowd were like, "Oh my god!"
Like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
like holy crap!
Yeah, that's probably what the guy was thinking when he press slammed him.
Oh, he was probably cussing like a sailor, thinking like, "Oh my!" Like he was probably like thinking like, "I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die."
Last thing going through his mind, what Matt. But yeah, I mean, everywhere they went, I mean, it's like they got that Road Warrior pop, didn't they? That came from them, and it's funny because earlier on, well, yeah, I'll say it today as it is sort of kind of. I was watching TNA's 50 Greatest Moments, and it mentions when L.O.D. came out on there, and they're on about the infamous, you know, Road Warrior pop and how people talk about it when crowd goes mental. And they were interviewing America's Most Wanted, James Storm and Chris Harris, and Chris Harris ran about it. He says, "Oh, I remember," he says, "he's been laid on floor, you know, and usually," he says, "when music hits, somebody comes out so you know what's going on." He says, "Well," he says, "and sometimes music gets drowned out." He says, "But there were no music." He says, "It was just the whole place erupted." He says, "And I'm like, the hell's going on?" He says, "So I had to kind of look up to see what were happening." He says, and it was like, "Oh my god, it's Road Warriors that are here." And he says, you know, the legend, Jeremy Borash ran about, you know, that you hear the legendary Road Warrior pop. He says, well, that night, he says, it genuinely looked like that place were going to explode with the noise. Because when they came out, everybody just went mental. And, I mean, for you to have your own thing. I mean, it's to this day, don't they still refer to it as the Road Warrior pop?
Yeah, and the thing is, I know Animal was never an ECW, but Hawk's got something to brag about. He's the only wrestler that I could ever think of was with Stampede Wrestling, NWA, AWA, WCW, New Japan, the WWF, and ECW, and now TNA.
Yeah. I didn't know Hawk were in TNA, ECW.
Yeah, it was like he was there maybe like for a cup of coffee. I think he was. He faced Jimmy Snuka in the main event for the TV title or the world title. I don't remember. It's on there.
93 then.
Yeah. It was back when it was,
my review series. I might come across that match yet. So
it's on YouTube somewhere. I know that for a fact.
Ah, cool. I say I've got that. Yeah, I'm going to self promote shamelessly. I've got my ECW review series coming up, and so it'll probably be one of the 93 ones.
If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, definitely send me the link. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Hawk. Okay, I'm gonna be straight up honest. Even though I loved Animal, I always thought Hawk was my favorite guy in the Road Warriors.
I'm trying to remember to when we were kids and we used to play wrestling, which you weren't supposed to. Your parents out, don't do it. You get hurt. No, we were. And then whenever you go home with their arm hanging down like that, I fell. What were you doing? playing football.
That's the funny
Yeah.
thing is like I used to like you talk about wrestling on YouTube. Oh, that's bad. No, can't do that. It's violence.
Nope.
You talk about football. Oh, that's okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Oh, you talk about the UFC. Okay, that's all right.
Boxing, no, that's fine. Wrestling, no, shame on you.
We got YouTube boxing, so that's okay. You can talk about that. Or you're talking about wrestling. No, it's bad.
Yeah,
Bad.
Damn it. I think when we used to not play wrestling, me and my brother, were the Legion of Doom. I think I were always Animal.
Really?
Yeah, not because of my build, because I weren't this big then. I was quite thin as a kid.
For me, like
I think it was just where it worked out. I think it was a case of he'd only join in if he could be Hawk. So it was like, do you know what? I'll take being Animal. It's not a bad thing.
Funny thing is, like my brother would always pretend like he was with the Road Warriors. I was always with Demolition.
Yeah, actually,
I'm straight up honest. I was always a Demolition guy more than the Road Warriors because I saw the Demolition first before the Road Warriors did.
Yeah,
so.
I probably probably a Demolition fan, even though they were the bad guys. And then as soon as Legion of Doom come in, it was like, no, them. It's just them. You know, everybody else can just vanish. Them.
And the funny thing is, I told this to Andrew Watson, who's a big, I think he's a big Demolition guy himself. I always told him, even though, like, now as I'm older, now I know Demolition was a copycat of the Road Warriors. As a kid, I never knew that because when I saw these Road Warrior guys, I was like thinking, like, oh, who are these Demolition copycatters? Who are these guys?
Demolition rip-off acts, and it's actually the other way around. Demolition, we were Vince's rip-off for them. They had some great matches together, them two teams.
It's just a shame that they never had a blow-off match like at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and the bit where they mentioned SummerSlam '91 where they had to change the match.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that full event?
Yes.
And I mean, obviously you've got the network, can't you? But
but I saw this.
It's blatant. When they come down, you've got Ellering and his puppet on his bike. You've got Orc behind him, and then you've got Animal. And it's to get about half an hour. They didn't show it in the documentary because I don't know if they're only allowed to show so many seconds, like on YouTube before you get copyrighted. But you can see Hawk almost wipe out. And if he'd have gone, Animal wouldn't have had any chance of stopping because he was like right behind him. So he would have wiped out as well. And they wouldn't have even made it to ring. But they said then that Hawk were well out of it. So it was like a case of, look, we're not even going to do Doomsday Device because he's in no condition.
Isn't it weird that they did not end with that? But at the same time, I'm glad they didn't do that. But it's so weird to see him not end with the Doomsday Device.
Yeah. I mean, fans in Wembley that night would have been well looking forward to it. And then when it didn't happen, they'd have been like, oh, okay. But like for those that were there as kids who are adults now and watched the documentary, they've been like, makes sense why they didn't do it. But then the kids side have been like, no, I want the Doomsday Device.
Like there was really not that much internet back then. Like think about it, like how
91
computers were back then. Like if there was YouTube back then probably fans would understand why there wasn't a Doomsday. But since computers weren't very popular back in the 90s, like they are now.
That were about it.
Yeah.
I can't think of many people that had a computer at home in 1990.
I didn't own a computer until 2000.
Yeah, I can't remember when I first in my own one.
Yeah, my first ever computer I ever got was 2000.
Yeah, but I mean, everything about that whole documentary, it was just a lot of it. Well, some of it I kind of knew, but a lot of it were new stuff that I didn't know. Like I didn't know that there used to be bouncers. Yeah,
that's one thing. That's one thing I did like that they mentioned, like about their times as bouncers. Like they went to a guy who owed them money, like almost tipped him over the bridge.
Him over a balcony, wasn't there? That when they'd gone the separate ways, and then they decided to just quit wrestling, and they'd gone back to bouncing and did a bit of debt collecting, and then Anderson found them, didn't he? Went, oh, you have Ola, and they're like, no, that one's Hawk, and it's like, oh, like you said, you mean there's two of these people? They're like, yeah, and they were like, right, you both need to come with me, and that were it. Then there were the rest, as they say, was history.
Yeah, they debuted, and the funny thing is, they just gave them the NWA National Tag Team titles.
Well, they came
And
in with them fictional titles, didn't they? That they were supposed to have won in a tournament in Chicago, and they're like, "There you go, there's your belts." What are these? Where did we get these? I'll just see when I'm in a tournament in Chicago. Yeah, okay. Then.
okay, sure. Yeah, they didn't even beat anybody. They just gave it to, which I find hilarious. And I was just like thinking, like what Draws said in the Legion of Doom documentary, the WWE one. It's like I bet there was a lot of jealousy for a lot of the guys who worked harder. But this is my guess. None of them were going to say anything because, again, look at those guys. They look like towers. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, but at this point as well, they were like, it's like they said they were headlining every night where they went. Tag team matches didn't headline then.
No.
It were always your Ric Flairs, your Steamboats, your
Dusty Rhodes.
I mean, all right. Most of the time, they were usually in 6-man tags, weren't they? When they were in NWA, usually tagging with either Dusty or Magnum TA against.
So it's the Four Horsemen or Dusty, Magnum, and all that kind of stuff.
See, I've done my homework as well for this one. I've been more prepared.
Road Warriors came in.
Yeah, I mean, they did 6-man tags, but a lot of the time it was just them against another tag team. And they were main event, and it's like tag teams just weren't main events back then. But I mean, I must have watched that documentary 3 times now.
Yeah.
I watched it originally, ready for our review, and then I watched it again when we said we were going to do it, and then we ended up not doing it because your computer burnt, and then I ended up falling asleep when we were going to do it last time. But I watched it again just for fun, and so I really enjoyed it. I just wish that Vice could have done like a full documentary on the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, some other episodes would have been great as, a proper full 1.5 hour, 2 hour documentary.
Like they did with the Benoit one.
Yeah, over 2 parts. But the Road Warriors one, I think they essentially wanted to just get it to, right, they get good, they get famous, everything's great, they go to WWF, Hawk's drug addiction, and then, everything else after that. I mean, even mentioned when Hawk quit WWF, didn't it, and Animal did them rest of things on his own, and then Hawk went back to Japan and teamed up with somebody else and called himself the New Road Warriors. And Animal like, what the fuck? That's our gimmick. What you doing? That's us. But yeah, they were a Super Warrior, wasn't it? The other guy we know now.
Super Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, you were a big guy, or not?
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're going to do Road Warriors, you need somebody big. But I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to word this without us getting loads of shit. You don't often see Japanese guys as big as that Super Warrior guy was.
The only time I actually see big Japanese wrestlers if they were sumos or 7 foot tall.
Yeah, or people like what's his name from New Japan? He tagged with Briscoes a few times. Comic act, but he's quite a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you do.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember the guy's name either, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like, usually, I mean, like, okay, don't get mad at us. We're just saying, like, I don't ever remember seeing a Japanese wrestler back then super huge or muscly.
Yeah, they're usually really, thin and athletic built, aren't they? As a rule, Japanese wrestlers. It's very rare you see the really big muscular ones, but yeah, that dude were. I honestly thought. Hawk had just got a bit of a section of drywall with some shoulder pads on it, and he was just wheeling it next to him because the guy would just bang it, was just square when he was huge.
Yeah.
Then obviously Hawk left Japan, went back, and they reformed, and then they went to Australia, and that's when Hawk had his first near-death experience, wasn't it?
Yeah. Funny thing, but the one thing they didn't mention is their WCW return, which. Let's be all fair. I'm kind of glad they did not mention that because
I didn't mention that. They just mentioned the earlier days in NWA, AWA.
Their WCW return run was not memorable at all.
When they came back to WWF in like '97, that weren't that good either.
No, because they were called the L.O.D. 2000. Now, here's the thing. Draws was actually a good fitting member.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
thought,
he said in the documentary that the fact that they chose him to be its third member, they were like, "You are, I'm going to be at Legion and do it. I'm going to be a road warrior." Yeah, yeah, you could tell he was genuinely excited about it, but it's
yeah,
like the storyline they did. All of them were like it was just too close to reality, and none of them felt comfortable with it. And especially when Joz was supposed to have pushed Hawk off at top at Titantron,
yeah.
and they had Hawk coming out pretending to be drunk and stuff. They were like, "Nah, it's too close to home, is this?" But that's
I hate the fact that WWE does do this. I mean, sometimes it does help, but in the same time, is like that's a low blow because this guy's actually suffering real demons.
yeah. I mean, it was like when TNA did the Rhino and James Storm storyline, and like they're on about how Rhino were a recovering alcoholic and stuff. And
Yeah,
James Storm kept spitting beer in it. Like Jericho did it with CM Punk, didn't he? Kept
yeah.
spitting beer in his face and stuff because he was straight edge and he didn't drink and that. And it's like, sometimes real things that are happening, can be put across in the right ways as a warning to people. I mean, WCW did it with Scott Hall, didn't they, when they brought him out?
It was a bomb. It did not help at
No,
all.
and they brought him out and they basically just like, right, just do what you want, Scott. Get, liquored up backstage and then just come out and we'll just film you and we'll just make you out of you for 20 minutes or so while you make a fool out of yourself.
And we'll make money.
Yeah, we'll make money, get ratings out of it. Meanwhile, you're slowly destroying yourself, but it don't matter.
And it was super uncomfortable too. Like as an adult now, it's like I was uncomfortable watching it then because I had family members who were suffering with stuff like that. And as a little kid, it's just like, nah, I don't want this on my wrestling. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I watch this to get away from real life. I don't
Yeah.
watch it. Like stuff like the Ministry were different, but when it's stuff like that, it's like, no, this happens, and you see people who are going through this sort of thing, and it's like, no, I watch it to get away from this sort of thing.
Did you see what they're doing with the whole thing with Jeff Hardy right now?
I know that he's supposedly been pulled over for drink driving and run somebody over him, but it were all set up, wasn't it, by Sheamus or something?
Yeah, they're making a storyline out of his real life demon problems into a storyline with Sheamus.
You see, Jeff Hardy, you've got to give him props for that. He's got to be at the point where he can say, right, yeah, I'm clean and I'm sorted. And yeah, I am willing to admit that I have made mistakes and yeah, bring it into a storyline. But if Jeff Hardy were to relapse because of that, then
CM
things
Punk, who doesn't like Jeff Hardy, even tweeted this out. Like, he doesn't like the fact that they're making this into a storyline. He does not like the fact that they're making a storyline out of this guy's real life demons. He's like, I don't watch wrestling because of stuff like this.
But yet, when he was feuding with Hardy, he was the first one to dive in and start mentioning his demons and stuff.
I know, but the thing is, like, I think the fact that realizing, like, that was, like, Jeff Hardy was clean at the time. So I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
It
was supposed to be clean. I mean, it were definitely better than he had been for a long time at that point.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he doesn't like I think he's moved on from that. I think he's thinking like.
He only does what he's told to say. I mean, CM Punk were giving so much leeway with his promos because he could talk.
Yeah.
But for him to say that, I mean, I love CM Punk. I'm a CM Punk fan.
I am too.
And say, I know they shouldn't be using that, but it's like, dude, when you were doing straight edge thing, you were saying about him being a drinker and a druggie and all this sort of stuff, and it just.
Well, I think he's talking about like Jeff Hardy just recently returned because of this whole thing, and they waited a little bit longer when it was okay.
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy returns. Let's make a storyline out of this.
Yeah, so I think it's always going to be a thing with Hardy, like it was with Hawk. Well, until Hawk got clean, you've got to hope that Hardy can get himself sorted at some point and realise that he's got a long life ahead of him. Drinking and drugs and stuff ain't going to do him any favours.
And also the fact is that moving on again from Tangent Masters again. Here we go.
We're good. Tangent Masters.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, even though CM Punk said that about, like, he doesn't like the fact that they're making this into a story mode, because what happened was, like, Jeff Hardy got drunk supposedly like ran over somebody. That's the first thing they did when they first started this whole storyline thing.
Yeah, I've run over somebody.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that CM Punk mentioned is like and by the way, CM Punk and Jeff Hardy don't get along, but CM Punk decided to tweet this out saying he doesn't like the fact that they're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's again, it's one of them things, and it's like we said, it goes back to that whole Hawk storyline of him coming out and acting drunk and stuff, and it's like, you just sometimes if you're going to do that storyline, do it with somebody who isn't going through it in real life.
Yeah.
You know,
like here's the thing, they done that with Jake the Snake Roberts with Jerry the King Lawler. You remember that one?
When was that?
96.
That was just before Austin 316 when it King at Ring.
Yeah, like this was like literally like immediately after the whole Austin 316. This is when Jake the Snake Roberts was clean and sober, and he was doing a new gimmick, like he was sharing his.
Yeah, he was quoting Bible and stuff, wasn't he? And he were, I've seen the light, I found God, and all that sort of stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they were making it to a storyline with Jerry the King Lawler, and when Jake was sober, when Jerry Lawler poured whiskey in his face, and he said it didn't have to be whiskey, it could have been iced tea, but it was whiskey and it burned like hell. Like it poured on his face, like it was his first time tasting whiskey. God knows how long, maybe like a year or two.
You see, like something like that, you'd think, given the fact that this guy has a history of abuse of alcohol, you'd think they would have used iced tea.
Yeah, right.
So that way, if it gets in his mouth, which it's going to do, it's not going to get to. I mean, he could quite easily got to the point where Jerry Lawler poured it all over his face. Jake Roberts gets a mouthful and then thinks, I've missed this. Leaves the show, goes out, gets absolutely tanked up, has a complete relapse. God knows what could have happened, all because they used real whiskey instead of using something else that looked like it.
Yeah, I mean, like
if something had happened that night, and God forbid, I mean, it didn't, luckily, but God forbid something would have happened that night. If Jake had wrapped his car around a lamppost, or God forbid, hit somebody else, would they have been, well, it's your fault for pouring whiskey down his throat, blah blah blah? Because they would have pinned it on Jerry Lawler, or you should have used iced tea. You know what was going on in his real life, blah 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 blah. But I think if they're going to do an angle like that, it should be something that's non-alcoholic.
Yeah, like we said, like iced tea would have been fine.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't get somebody who got a history of drug abuse.
Or apple juice. It could have been like apple juice. That could have been
anything that looked like whiskey that weren't alcoholic. Use that. I mean, it's not like you get somebody who's like, again, Scott Hall or somebody like that who's got a drug history. You wouldn't have a wrestler blow a couple of $100 worth of cocaine in his face.
Right.
I mean, they would use baking powder for that. So why not use a substitute for alcohol? I mean, vodka, fucking water, it's clear. Gin is water, it's clear.
I think this one's the whole Hawk one, even though it's bad and all that kind of stuff. But the one thing they didn't do is they didn't show him getting drugged up or drinking or anything else like that.
He just came out from curtain, didn't he? From back staggering downstage. It's not like in WCW where Scott Hall had the glass in his hand and stuff, and he were walking down like like that. They didn't show him with a drink, which I suppose is the only blessing.
Yeah, and I'm glad they didn't do that. But the thing is, like, it's still sad to watch. Like, like as an adult now, like, his history, you're just thinking, like, why did this ever get cleared to do? Like, yeah. I'm like now with stuff like that. Like when I mentioned the Jake the Snake Roberts one, it's like, why was that cleared to do? Or
why? Well, Vince, obviously, in it.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like thinking, like, who would approve this? Like, why would you do this, Vince? Or WCW, I get why they were doing it because they were desperately trying to beat WWE.
Yeah, they left it ratings,
but they could have done something different instead of showing Scott Hall's real life problems.
Yeah, and same with Hawk as well. You wouldn't have. I mean, they never had an angle with Shawn Michaels where somebody rammed a load of pills down his throat.
right? Like they didn't do that. They didn't bring up what his history with Sonny or.
Because allegedly he had a drug issue, just allegedly,
Oh no, I think he fully admit that he did.
Yeah, he did. He were.
So you don't need to say allegedly. I think he'll fully admit. He's like, yeah, I had a drug problem. I was an idiot.
He were popping all sorts, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I like you don't. I don't think they ever mentioned that. Like you don't hear them say like, oh, you remember your drug problem? So here, take some pills, or
Yeah,
we're gonna bring Sonny back. We're gonna bring Sonny back. You remember that thing? It's like,
they always refer to it as Sean went off the rails, don't they?
Yeah, like I could hear
deep thing with that. I mean, Sean was doing everything he could get his hands on at the time.
Yeah, like if they brought back Sonny,
Sonny.
Like we're gonna bring Sonny back. Doesn't that sound like a great idea, Sean? Vince, I'm married now. I have kids who watch this show now, so I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, like the whole Sean and Brett thing when he said, "Oh, Brett had sunny days." A comment like that almost cost Brett his marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, Brett says there were never anything to it. Sonny says there were never anything to it. Her and Brett genuinely just got on really well, But that one comment by Sean, because him and Brett didn't get on, and Brett's wife apparently went apoplectic at him, if that's how you say it. She went ballistic.
Yeah.
What's this? What's Sean? It's on TV. It's story. He's got to say stuff like that to build up the. No, because when he said it, you could see it in his eyes, and it's like, no, there's no to it. But yeah, stupid things like that can.
To this day, they still both said nothing. Brett and Sonny both still say to this day nothing happened between them.
Exactly. It's not like Sonny's got anything to lose.
Yeah, like she's pretty much lost everything right now.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like Brett has fully said, like again, this is gonna happen in our reviews. So just to let you all know.
Yeah, we do a bit, of course. We always come back though nicely.
Brett has always said, like, the whole thing with me and Sonny, nothing happened. Yeah, people would say like, well, we saw her go into your dressing room a lot. He's like, yeah, Chris is going in there with me too. So they hang out with me. They we share the same dressing room like all of you guys do. Nothing's going on. Yeah, exactly. But Sonny has said that she has slept with Davey Boy Smith.
Well,
why? Anyways, moving on from that, I don't want
Davey Boy.
Huh?
What's wrong with Davey Boy?
He's married.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that didn't stop a lot of them, did it, back then?
Yeah.
But
I think Brett, you don't want to piss him off because Davey's married to Brett's sister.
Yeah, apparently she was quite scary as well when she lost her temper. So.
Yeah.
But again, we digress. But
yeah, but the one thing
they shouldn't have brought the whole drinking thing into it. It's wrong.
Yeah, that's just one thing that I don't ever want to see in my wrestling. I know a lot of people say it helps with ratings or helps them look back, like saying like, hey kids, don't do what these guys did.
Yeah,
but
there's ways of doing that. We have.
Yeah, there's some people who don't realize like these guys legit have a disease that it's hard to get rid of. It's like it takes a lot of people.
It's like I say, if you're going to do them storylines, at least have Animal play the one who's got the drink problem. The guy who's actually teetotal. Well, not necessarily teetotal, but might go out and have a drink, but knows when to stop.
Yeah,
I think portray the drunk, but no, they had to make it so it was the actual drunk. But yeah, I mean, apart from that,
or maybe they could have made Draws go out and drinking, thinking like, hey, I'm a road warrior. He's getting celebrated, and Hawk's thinking no, don't do that. He's like, but you guys used to do this all the time. It's like, and look how that turned out for me.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a really good way of doing it. Draws, gets giddy at the fact that he's been brought into Legion of Doom 2000, starts, partying and everything. And then, you have Hawk be the voice of reason. Look, I've been down that path. It's not good.
Don't do what I did.
Yeah, they could have made it look so much positive for. I mean, what age demographic were they going for back then? WWE was like 19 to 31 demographic or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's kids over there, you got to be 21 to drink in States, yeah.
And even though this was in the Attitude Era, but they could have just been Draws could have been like I said, he could have been like the young guy, like I'm in the Road Warriors, like party on and all that kind of stuff, do what
Yeah.
they did. And
Yeah,
Hawk's like, oh
and then
no.
I'll be the voice of reason. And so, look, like I said, I've been there. It's not worth it. You need to knock it on the head now because it'll take over. That would have been, again, we've fantasy booked something that would have been better than what they actually did because
And it would have been a great
they did wrong.
book ending story is like if they a good ending story for that is like they winning the tag team titles while Draws realizes what he's doing is dumb. Like he is like, okay, I'm gonna listen to what you guys said. Hawk's
Yeah,
like,
it shows him
what
going to like AA meetings, training his ass off, and
yeah,
all
do
three
what I
of them
have.
in gym together, all pushing each other and everything. And then they go out, and Arx is right. I'm going to sit this one out. You and Animal go, and Arx at ringside
But
on
Draws
commentary, and he
like
watches
this.
Animal and Jaws win the tag titles. But
Or
obviously,
it could
under
like
the
this.
Freebird rule.
Or it could have been like this. Draw says, no, I don't want Animal to be as my partner. I want you to be my partner since you're the one that pushed me to do this. They could have gone to WrestleMania 15, win the tag team titles and all that kind of stuff. What a great storybook ending that would have been. I could see like Hawk could be like, they're getting ready, even though they had problems with Paul Ellering. Paul could have been, he was managing the biker guys, the Disciple of the Apocalypse guys.
Yeah.
Paul could have been like coming into the dressing room, was like, I know you guys don't like me right now, but I want to talk to you. He could have been like, I'm proud of what you guys have done, and I'm proud of what Draws has gone.
Yeah, I'm proud of what you've done with Jaws, and because he could have turned out to Jaws and said, I saw him go down that path. I saw what happened to him, and I'm glad that he stopped you from going down that path. But yeah, I mean, there are so many better ways they could have booked it, but like we said,
they even had Paul and Animal manage them and see them win the tag team titles at WrestleMania. How great would that have been?
They could have still had Droz as the alternate, but yeah, have Animal say, right, well, like you said, Droz said, I want to tag with Hawk tonight because, an Animal go, yeah, I'll go. Ellering be at ringside, or if Ellering was still sticking with DOA and having nothing to do with his LOD, Animal could have gone on commentary. He didn't have to talk a lot. He could have done what Tommy Dreamer did at Barely Legal. I'm here to watch this, but I'm not going to be saying much because these are my boys in the ring right now, and I'm here, so I'm not interfering. I'm watching, but I'll give you my thoughts when I can. But
I just thought the way how they could have ended too. Animals like saying like Hawks is like, okay, Doomsday device now, and Draws is getting ready to lift him up, but Hawk stops him and he lifts him, and Draws goes on the top rope for the first time, does the Doomsday with Hawk, and Draws gets the pin. 1, 2, 3, and your new World Tag Team Champions. Can you imagine the emotion in them? Like
that would have got a massive. Yeah, you see, that would have been, like you said, the ultimate. Fairy tale. That would have been a better ending. Animal leaves commentary, goes flying into the ring. All three of them stand there, hug, celebrate. Crowd's going absolutely batshit crazy.
I could just see, like Hawk tearing up, or Draws, or Animal. Hell, even Paul Ellering, who's
all three of them. Yeah, Paul Ellering coming down and just, even if he just stands at the top of the ramp, just clapping, and when they look up, just and then he just turns and walks away. And then them three have the moment. They walk up ramp together. They've got the tag titles. They can defend them under the Freebird rule. Yeah, that would have been so much better. But instead,
that could have probably been the main event for WrestleMania too. Like, I think Austin and Rock would say, like, no, put them in the main event. That's a better.
No, realistically, there's no way they would have turned.
Can you imagine? That would have been great. That would have been a great.
It would have been a brilliant match on the card, and it would have been great to have had that booked, without a doubt. That is how it should have been.
What's the most memorable thing for WrestleMania 15?
I'm trying to remember which 15 went out. Is that the one with the dumpster match between Terry Funk and Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack and New Age Outlaws?
That was 14.
That was 14. So 15 was Rock and Austin main event. And I can't remember any other matches, and it's not because it's a shite pay-per-view, it's because it's my memory.
No, it is. I'll fully admit it is.
No, it isn't. It's a good event. I know it is because I bought the video. I have the DVD. I'm sure I do.
That's the one with the horrible Hell in a Cell match between Taker and Boss Man.
Oh shit! Yeah, where Boss Man gets hung.
That's the only thing that was memorable about the Hell in a Cell match. The match in general, horrible. You know what that could have been?
It was horrible. It just weren't great.
No, because that ending, I like thinking like you just murdered somebody on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, you just hung the boss man. Yeah,
The
God,
tag
yeah,
team title match was Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett versus D'Lo Brown and Test. Why those two? Because they won a battle royal together, and they weren't supposed to
yes,
be teaming
yeah.
up.
That they were in a battle royale on the pre-show, didn't they?
That
To
could have been the Draws and Hawk match. That could have been like,
yeah, Droz and Hawk could have won that battle royale. They could have just gone with the storyline we said, but
yeah, I know,
no,
but that's what I'm
it's
saying. Like that could have been replaced with the storyline we just created. Like
yeah,
even though
definitely.
that could not end the pay per view, but it felt like if I would feel like how people would react. You would feel like, is this the main event? Because I just like next thing you know, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, Austin and Rock's on next too.
yeah,
That's what
it
I'm
would
saying.
have been.
I'm not talking about like it should ended, but I mean like it. That's good. That's how it's gonna feel. Like it's gonna feel like we just watched the main event.
Yeah, and then it'd be like, no, there's Rock and oh shit, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
I think the
here's the thing.
way that
I
we've
could
just
just
booked it would have been
I
miles
could
better
see
than.
like the emotional, the how like you actually cheering for these guys to beat Owen and Jeff Jarrett. Like you could just feel the emotion. You can feel the
Yeah,
tears. You can
you
feel
want
everything.
Droz and Hawk after everything that they've been through and all the hard work they've put in to get the win, and animals at ringside, but he's not going to interfere because it's not their style and all this sort of
Yeah,
stuff. But
and for Animal, he's like, no, this is not my moment. It's those guys in
yeah,
there. I'm staying out here this time.
yeah, I'm just going to sit here and watch him. But yeah, that would have been miles better. But weren't that the Vince Russo era or was that later?
Yeah, that was the Vince Russo era.
Yeah, so that explains it. Yeah. Yeah, I might email Jim Cornette and ask him what he thought of that storyline.
Oh, he probably hated it because, like, here's the thing. I remember.
It was a Russo story. Oh, what does he affectionately refer to him as now? Is it shithead or something?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing is, I remember Jim Cornette saying, like, in the Legion of Doom documentary, the WWE one did, like, back then there used to be like names on the board, and whoever had to face the Road Warriors would be scared because, like, they would be wrestlers actually crossing their fingers,
Yeah,
hoping they're
please,
not facing.
please, not us.
And Road Warriors get the face, and you see who they're facing, and you see their hearts sunk.
Yeah, it's
Real
like,
nice.
Shit, we're gonna die.
Here's the thing: we're not even done with this review. We just made a good fantasy booking for how.
Exactly. But I mean, even Steiner Brothers. I mean, they had a reputation for being hard hitting, but
Oh yeah,
apparently Road Warriors, literally knocked them into middle of next week.
yeah, seriously. But that's when now we're gonna get back to the beginning of the story. We just wanted to do a little fantasy booking right there.
Yeah, we always end up doing something.
It is when they talked about their trip in Australia where Hawk had his near-death experience.
Yeah, Well, it's like Animal said though. They went to Australia to do a wrestling show, and they found out that when you go to a bar, you can order a beer, and God knows what pills you want, and they just give you them over bar. It's asking for trouble, is that? But yeah, I mean, luckily he came out of that. I think when that was the one that really made him realise, wasn't it, that I need to sort myself out. Because he didn't ring Animal and say, look, you need to get me home because
I don't want to die here.
Yeah, I don't want to die. I can't do this. And he'd met his wife and everything, and he before he passed, and he got himself clean and got married and everything. He was loved up, and everything was going great, and then bang.
Hawk said, "I'm tired. I'm gonna go lay down."
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to go for a lie down, and then that were it. And then Paul Ellering saying how he had to go out and buy loads of black paint to respray the old van they used to travel around in, and he had to drive it that way.
That's awesome. Like that's what he did for the funeral. I mean, that's really.
Yeah.
That's
It would have been interesting to hear some eulogies from that.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't they read Hawks? Not Hawks, Animals. Eulogy. Didn't he quote that? Or
I think I don't remember, but when I was watching it, and he was talking about what he said at the funeral, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up from that part.
It was like really, really deep, and it was like, whoa, shit, right in the feels, dude.
Right, like it's just like thinking, like, oh my god, that just.
Yeah, that just.
I wasn't even there, but just I'm just picturing myself at the funeral, and I'm just
you could sort of where he's describing it, you can sort of picture yourself being sat at back at room and just hearing it, and you're like, whoa, this is some deep shit, man. But
and you can really tell Hawk's passing really did affect Ellering and Animal very well. You could tell it really affected them both.
Yeah, it did. I mean, like I said, they travelled hundreds of thousands of miles together.
It's just always the three of them.
Yeah, they went to Japan together, all over America for different territories. It's like Ellering said, everything fit together perfectly. They were the Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And everything they did together, and they'd be sat in Van and Orca been telling them about cartoons and stuff, and meanwhile in the Legion of Doom and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it were
the whole Legion of Doom name. There was an actual Legion of Doom in the NWA. It was like their version of the Clique.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I might have heard of that.
Here's the members who were a part of that. Of course, Hawk and Animal and Paul Ellering, King Kong Bundy, Jake the Snake Roberts, and I don't remember what the masked wrestler's name was. I don't remember. The Staple, I think his name was. I don't remember. I have to look. It's on the Road Warriors DVD that you have. It's on there, so they will mention it. But yeah, it was their version of the Clique, but it kind of split when they went to different territories.
Yeah.
Like Bundy went to the WWF, Jake went to Georgia Championship Wrestling, and the masked wrestler, I don't remember his name, he went to Canada. So they were just stuck in Jim Crockett.
Which weren't a bad place to be at the time.
No, not at all. Like Jim Crockett, like back then, NWA was red hot.
Yeah, it were.
I mean, don't get us wrong. Vince and the WWF, Hulk Hogan was mega hot too. But if you wanted to see like wrestling and technical wrestling, NWA was your place. That was red hot.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen on the old documentary DVDs and bits I've watched on YouTube of all the NWA stuff, I think that's why I kind of enjoy the new NWA so much when I watch it.
Oh, I love NWA Power.
Because it's just set up with the exact same thing. You got the ring, your announce table, your interview table, and then just one lot of crowd. You haven't got all crowd around making loads of noise. There's no glitzy music and flashing lights. They just come out from them curtains, straight to the ring and get on with it. That's
my next goal to do, is to go to an NWA event. For NWA Power or a pay-per-view, that's my next goal. I want to go to an NWA event.
That would be cool.
If it's going to be for an OWO anniversary or just going there in general, I want to go to an NWA event so badly, dude.
Would be awesome. I don't think they'll ever come over here. I don't think it's one of them promotions that would bother with the UK tour.
I bet they will when they get bigger.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, think about it. They're still, the NWA Power is still kind of brand new, so of course they're not going to travel going everywhere else. They're
still pretty much set in the studio out, and they do the pop-up events occasionally, don't they?
Yeah, they're going to do, I think what back then they used to do, just stay at one place, and for a big special event, they'll go to that one for like a pay-per-view and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like what back then, like back what the 80s used to do, like with NWA.
Yeah.
They would stay at one spot, and next thing you know, like, oh, we're going to go to this state or this country for this pay-per-view.
Yeah, we're going to be in this massive stadium.
But, I mean, they got a good relationship with Ring of Honor, so they'll probably do like one for like Ring of Honor does a lot of UK shows.
Yeah, they come over to UK. I almost got, I went to try and get tickets for it last year or the year before. But by the time I've managed to get onto ticket site, they'd sold out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, which was a bit, disheartening. But hey ho, I've been to see WWE a few times, seen NXT. So
I finally could say I went to an NXT event. Now I want to say I've been to a Ring of Honor event because I've never been to Ring of Honor before.
I've seen WWE a few times, NXT, which is still WWE, I suppose, technically.
I know. It's really different compared to what
It's totally different to a WWE show. I've also seen ICW, the Scottish
ICW like.
It was good because the place it were in were a really small venue, and where we were stood right at ringside. If you can find the ICW Fight Club tour from Leeds, you actually see me and my friend stood ringside for the whole show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Got to Trent Seven come down and he worked his way around and he got. Or did he come down that way first? No, he went down that way and come to us. Sure, it was that way. No, he came to us first because we were near the announce team. Anyway, either way, I got a high five off Trent Seven, and it was when I'd started growing my beard because I'd seen Trent Seven. I was like, this dude's fucking awesome. I need to grow a beard now, and I'd start growing it. And when he stands up and he twirls his mustache, he did that, and he was looking straight at me when he did it, and I was like, yes, that. None of you lot, that was for me.
I'll look it up. I'll try to see if I can find it.
Yeah, see if you can find it.
If
not, I'll send you it.
Alright.
But yeah, I'm ringside. I bought an ICW T-shirt that night. You can see.
That's your profile picture, right? Is that the one that?
Yeah, it was my profile picture for a while. Yeah, me stood next to the barrier and the ring is like literally. I could almost, if I'd have leant over, I would have been just short at apron. We were that close to the match. You couldn't hear them talking to each other in the ring, but every time somebody got chopped, you could feel it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, again, we digress.
Oh, but awesome.
Yeah, but it was good.
But let me ask you something. Even though Road Warriors weren't in TNA for that long, do you think if they stayed longer, they would have won their tag team titles?
I don't know. It's hard to say because they turned up in it in. Well, TNA started in 2002, didn't it? So I can't remember what year they said it was that they turned up.
Well, they were still with the NWA, so if they won the tag team titles, they would have won the NWA World Tag Team titles. Yeah,
they were still at NWA till 2007, weren't they? So yeah, they would have again been NWA Tag Team Champions.
Even though it was just one match, at least they could.
A match. They just kind of came in, kicked some ass, and.
No, I'm talking about even though it was just one match they had, at least they had one WWE Tag Team title match against Kane and RVD. At least they had one more match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It wouldn't have been nice, like we said, if WrestleMania 15 did have won tag titles then. Owen and Jeff Jarrett could have won them off in next pay-per-view next month.
Yeah,
it would have been nice to do that rather than do what they did and essentially just take
I even think Jeff and Owen know the story. They think no, we're going to give them the win because this story feels real. It feels
if they'd have done it that way, I would imagine that. I know Jarrett's got an ego, but I can't see Owen out having a problem, dropping titles to them too. Because especially if Vince said, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build up to this match at WrestleMania 15. They're going to beat you. Happy ending, blah, blah, blah. But then next pay-per-view, you're going to get your titles back, and then L.O.D. are going to sail off into sunset.
They could see this they've held the tag team titles this long, and Hawk immediately says this. If we lose, me and Animal both talked about this. If we lose,
we leave.
We leave. We'll hang our boots up.
Yeah, that's it.
And it could be a good happy ending. It could have been a good.
Yeah, we'll leave.
Or they could have said this. They could have said this. Win or lose, me and Animal both decided. Win or lose, we're gonna hang our boots off and let Dross take over the Road Warrior name.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like that. They could have just done it so they could have lost and then they could have had them explode from there. Droz could have been in the match and it could have been his fault that they lost titles. That would have led to Droz being kicked out, give him his solo run, and then either keep L.O.D. and let them do whatever they want, or if the contracts were up and it were right, time to go, let them ride off into sunset and do the thing. There were so many better ways that they could have handled them rather than, make it so Hawk's real life.
Yeah, and through that whole entire time, we didn't talk about like what they all did in that storyline. It's just because like I think a lot of people already know what that storyline is. It's just for us, from what we've been talking, is like we don't really want to talk about it because it's just
No, you don't want to watch wrestling and see real life issues. It's part of the reason why anybody. It's like why women watch soap operas. You know, they don't want to see stuff that happens in their everyday. I mean, that's why women I know have stopped watching them. Like my mum, she don't watch them anymore because she says they're just so depressing.
My mom still watches soap operas. I used to watch Days of Our Lives with her.
Never seen it. I know it's a thing from Friends, but not Friends. That were the hospital one, wasn't it, that Joy were in?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of Days of Our Lives been mentioned in something before, but yeah, I mean, Mum used to watch some soap operas, and she said they were depressing. I think that again, like I said, that's probably why for us it was so cringy watching that Hawk storyline, because it's like this is what the dude's really going through. You're putting it on national TV, and it's not doing anybody any favors. It's not like you're even making it look like. I mean, you got Animal giving that speech of, I wish I could say I know how you felt, but I don't, blah, 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 blah. But they weren't really doing anything constructive with it. They were just showing Hawk coming out drunk, stumbling around, and, it didn't really help anybody.
I mean, we just made a better storyline for this whole thing. Like, Draws joins the Road Warriors. He's getting big-headed because he's with the most popular and dominating tag team of all time. Then they realize what Draws is doing. And then Hawk realizes, like, he's becoming what I was, and I don't want that for him.
Yeah.
Like, this is during when I think Hawk was clean, I think.
Yeah, I think he was. He just got clean, I think, and they had him acting where he was drunk again.
And Hawk could immediately they could have done a storyline with Draws acting like how Hawk was, and Hawk could have been just like, no, don't, like, but Draws could be like, but I'm doing what you guys are doing. I looked up to you guys. I worshipped you guys.
Yeah.
And they could have been like, Hawk could have been just like, Draws, you don't want to go the same road that I did. I mean,
I've been there.
I almost ended the Road Warriors because of my thing with my plans. They could have made like a real life storyline, but Hawk not taking the storyline that they did.
Yeah, not focusing on that one person's actual real life situation. Showing that it's not all bad. They can be helped. You can be helped if you want to be, and all that sort of stuff. But I think that was the only real, apart from his passing, obviously, which were a major downer. But that was the only real downer on the episode. I thought the way that they made it a storyline about his issues and obviously his passing. But I thought for the most part the rest of the documentary were pretty interesting. It went into a lot of the background, and a few people from the area where they lived became wrestlers. And Scott Norton won it. They were the bridge, wasn't it? And there were the two sides of the city, and there were Hawk were the badass on one side, and Scott Norton were the badass on the other side, and it was just a case of it were a matter of time before they just clashed to find out who were the biggest badass. But he did a lot of he toured with them a lot as well, didn't he? And he said he's never seen anything like him.
Right. Yeah. That's just.
Yeah. When like I said the bouncing stars, and they were Hawk and got a job as a bouncer, they were just throwing people out left, right. And then when they used to have that line where they used to see if they could throw people past a certain point, because that's what when Ole Anderson went to meet him, wasn't it? He literally turned up at the club just as they were throwing somebody, and he landed on this bell or something, which was furthest spot, and landed at Ole Anderson's feet. Yeah, and it was like, whoa. And then when he went inside and he was talking, he's like, no, that's Hawk. Wow. But yeah,
like,
I mean, for most
part, I think I would have been too scared to go to that place.
Well, yeah, I mean, your bouncer's got a reputation like that. I mean, you're going to go in and you're going to behave. You're not going to go in and mess about, are you? Yeah, I'd have gone in the corner and I'd have quite happily sat with a Coca-Cola all night and just stayed out of everybody's way. But
Animal and the Hawk could just look at me and just say behave. I'm like, yes, sirs.
Yes, sir. I'm just have this drink and then I'm going home.
I'm just gonna have.
It's 8:30. I'm having just a quick one tonight. Yeah.
I just got really thirsty. I just really want one drink. So
I just thought I'd pop in and just see what it's about, and I'm gonna go home and cry. But yeah, I
But
mean, for the most part, it was quite an enlightening documentary. I thought it covered a lot of stuff that might not have been common knowledge from the WWE DVD that they did. But I'm definitely gonna have to dig that out and give that a watch again.
I'm gonna watch both of them, see which one like did the better story.
I bet if you put them both together, you'd have a hell of a documentary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you could snip bits and bats from both of them and put or just mash it all together in the right time frame, you'd have like the ultimate Road Warriors documentary.
I agree. But yeah, that's the review of the Road Warriors documentary, and I gotta say it was a good emotional story. I did enjoy it, and
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It might even be my favorite one so far now.
yeah, I think so. Like the New Jack one's still gonna be my favorite one. I enjoyed that one.
It's up there for me as New Jack, and but I think the Road Warriors one has just pipped him. Sorry, New Jack, but
If I had to put these like in orders right now, I think
I see. I hadn't even thought about that.
oh, maybe we could do that after when we officially are done with all of them.
Yeah, review. Yeah, when we finish reviewing, because we've only got Owen app to do now, aren't we? So
That one is going to be.
yeah, that's.
I watched it once and I bawled, I cried, and just watching it once killed me. And got to rewatch it again, and I'm gonna cry again. I know that for.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but.
Yeah.
We shall soldier on and we shall do it, and then we'll review it, and then I suppose then we might have to rewatch them all on its own and put them in our order of favourites.
Yeah, I'm down for doing that.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be, interesting when you watch them all back to back. I know for a fact that the Doctor D one's going to be up there for me.
Oh, I love that one.
Bitch slap the reporter. But then you got Herb Abrams, who was just such a character. Herbie Cookies.
You saw what the Herbie Cookies now,
Yeah,
right?
I want Herbie Cookies.
I want them to. And here's the thing: even though I'm probably gonna try to keep them and save them, oh no,
Ain't no way. It's not happening because you're going to start thinking, well, all that's happening while they're sat on that shelf in that box is they're going to go mouldy, which then is a complete waste of money.
right?
And then I can't tell anybody what they actually tasted like. So I'm going to have to eat them.
Right? I'm gonna I want to buy them and eat them. I love cookies, but I've never had the Herbie cookies. But I remember we mentioned we want the Herbie cookies, and now they're making them.
Mentioned it on the documentary, didn't they? They were like, "Oh, we want to try Herbie cookies now."
And now they have them.
Yeah, apparently. Well, Mick Foley got a box, didn't he, from somebody? They must have made them specially as a one-off for him.
I know, but still, if there's somewhere we could get some made, I mean,
the fact that they've even got little yellow cowboy boots is just awesome attention.
Cowboy boots, the championship belt, and Herb himself. That's just
that's just Herbie cookies. They need to be a thing.
Before we end this review, do you have a favorite Road Warriors match?
You see again. I am. If I'd have watched a load of them as well, I probably would be able to pick one out. But I think when they won the tag team titles in WWF, when they beat were it Nasty Boys?
Yeah, the Nasty Boys at the 1991 SummerSlam.
Well, I thought the fought no SummerSlam '91 where they were taken back. They were supposed to fight Money Inc. for belts, but because Hawk were messed up, they put them on an opening match.
Yeah.
But they didn't win tag team titles at SummerSlam '91, did they?
They won their first tag team titles at the 1991 SummerSlam. That was the first time winning the tag team belts. And then I think it was February is when they lost them, but it was because of Hawk failing the drugs test.
Yeah, that were it. Because then, Animal had to go on his own. Didn't he? I don't think it was the SummerSlam one. Then it might not have been. But yeah, I remember winning tag team titles for the first time, and I was like, "Oh crap, this is awesome!"
That's my favorite one. Is when they faced the Nasty Boys at the 1991 SummerSlam, because hearing the pop from the crowd after when they win them is you could feel the energy. It's great.
The thing is, I mean, you live in America and you've got some big stadiums over there. But like, I mean, to you, Wembley would have looked big. But I actually went to the old Wembley before it got demolished, and it was a massive, massive stadium. The way you see it on, it's probably like some arenas that WrestleMania's been at. It don't do it justice when you see it on TV. But Wembley, for what it was, for as you guys call it, a soccer stadium, it was massive. It was our national stadium for football. It's where England played all their matches. And then when they knocked it down, it was just, British history just, being absolutely shat on. But it were a massive, massive. And when I went to watch the football match, I was picturing SummerSlam there, and I'm like, oh my God, every seat in this was full. They were on floor as well. It must have been mental.
Oh, when you watch it now, it makes me just like think like, oh God, I wish I was there. I don't even care if I'm at the nosebleed seats. Oh, just imagine the energy at that show.
A friend of mine was there.
Lucky guy.
I didn't find out until it was like a couple of years after I'd sort of made friends with him, and, got to know him and stuff. And it just come out that I were a wrestling fan, and he's like, I were at SummerSlam 91. I just looked at him, I went, fuck you, bitch.
And he's like, Wembley, that was 92. That was 92.
Oh, that's SummerSlam 92, sorry, yeah. Oh, yeah, so yeah, SummerSlam, you were at SummerSlam 92. So yeah, it won 91 when they went tag, yeah. But yeah.
Well, yeah, just knowing that he was there, oh, lucky bastard.
Yeah, Mags always were, fuck you, bitch. And he's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you with me? And she rode in on. And your eyebrows and your pet cat, all just But it was saying he went for his birthday, even though his birthday's not actually in August, but it was his birthday treat.
Still,
I'm like, yeah, there's treats go. That's a hell of a treat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he said it was one of them things that you just never forget. I mean, even now when I talk to him, I'll be like, SummerSlam 92, and he'd be like, mate, like it was yesterday. He's like, yeah, like it was yesterday.
My first ever WWE event that I've ever attended, I believe my first pay-per-view was WrestleMania 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were there for Rock and Hogan?
No, that was 18.
That was 18. Bloody hell, my memory is shite. Yeah, that was 18. 19 was...
Lesnar and Kurt, Austin.
Oh, with the 450.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, did you gip? Were you like? Could you taste sick in your mouth when he landed?
I was at the nosebleed section, but even watching it up there, I could just feel my neck breaking in pieces.
Yeah, I think everybody in the crowd went, oh.
Yeah. I was there to see Austin's last match, and Hogan and Vince was a great match.
Do you know, as much as I don't like him, that was a good match.
No, it's
Hogan, not Vince.
The reasons why it was a good match is because it's a match that you would never ever thought of seeing Hogan and Vince do.
Yeah, you wouldn't. And then at the end when they were taking Vince off and he was just like that on a stretcher. Yeah. That would be
typical Vince.
Yeah, good old Vinnie Mac.
The Booker T and Triple H match was very forgettable. It's one match that I'm not a fan of.
I've never been a Booker T fan either. He's just it's never really stood out.
How it started. It's just how the match, like how the storyline started. They were bringing up Booker T's real life background of him getting arrested and all that kind of stuff.
You see. But at least that came out with a positive story, didn't it? That Booker T had overcome all that and he'd made something of his life. So you see, that weren't too bad.
Yeah, but Triple H still ended up winning, though.
Well, of course he did.
And here's the thing. That's also not the only thing they did. Triple H said this. Also, people like you, he looked his whole entire body when he said, you never get to be a world champion.
Yeah.
And threw like $100 bill at him and said, go fetch me a towel.
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with, besides him getting arrested, they brought a race to this.
Well, you see, there's different ways you can look at it. You can look at it that way, or you could look at it as people like you, as in people who come from, like, Triple H is supposed to be from a somewhat privileged background, isn't he, really? And it's like, Evolution were all posh suits and all that sort of stuff, and they were all...
But it's just like, as you watch it today, you're thinking like, oh...
Yeah, it's one of them. In which sense did you mean that? Because you didn't actually make it clear. You left it really.
Yeah, because he said in interviews like it wasn't supposed to meant about race. It was mostly what you pretty much said. It
Yeah,
was
people like you from the lower class.
Guys like me who are brought up into royalty and all that kind of stuff and all that kind of become world champions.
Yeah, brought out
Guys like the mid-carder like Booker T never become world champion. And he also mentioned like he was a WCW guy. I'm a WWE guy, even though Triple H kind of started in WCW first, but
yeah, he did, yeah.
But yeah, Triple H has said in interviews pretty much what you said, but everybody took it out as a race thing.
A lot of people jump to the wrong conclusion, don't they? But
I know, but the thing is, if you watch it now, you're seeing like, okay,
no, that's how it seems.
I get why people think it has to do with race, but Triple H has said is like it had nothing to do with it. But if you took it out that way, I do apologize.
Yeah, it's one of them things. I mean, WWF, WWE.
Said, like, I think Booker T even said like it was nothing to do with race, but okay.
This is the same guy though who dropped the N-word about somebody on WCW TV though, didn't he?
On Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. But it's one of them things, though, isn't it? That African Americans are allowed to say that word, and we can't, which is fair enough. It's their thing, They use it. I mean, most of the time now they use it as a derogatory thing, don't they? I mean, I really like Chris Rock when he's been doing stand-up and stuff mentioned the difference between an African American and an African American works and what, as his jeans hanging around his ass and stuff. But we won't go into that because that's just setting ourselves up for a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, SummerSlam 91 beating Nasty Boys for tag team titles.
Yeah, that was my favorite match of theirs. And if I had to pick another one, it was them facing the Freebirds.
I have not seen that. That's probably one of those on the. Is that on the?
Yeah, it's on the DVD.
Yeah, I need to dig that out. I really need to. I keep looking over there, like you can actually see what I'm looking at. I need to.
And in that match, the Freebirds painted their face too, and they painted their face as the Rebel flag. So it was pretty cool, actually. Like they were taking their style, but it was still a good match, and especially their tag team chain match against the Russians. That was another good match.
Yeah, it shows a bit of that, doesn't it? On because that's where they went over as baby faces, then, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that were.
Did you recognize one of the Russians too?
It were.
Aikita Koloff, and what was the other one's name? Something Koloff. But there was a third Russian in the group. Did you recognize him?
I don't think I remember seeing him. It weren't Nikolai Volkov.
It's on the documentary. But the third Russian was Demolition Smash, aka Repo Man.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Watch it when you watch it. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig that DVD out. I'm gonna have to dig it out and watch it one weekend when I've got time to.
But yeah, everybody, that is our review. Next up is the last episode of Dark Side of the Ring, season 2, and there will be a season 3. That's another thing we're going to be talking about too in after that one. But I did enjoy reviewing this with you, Richard, and it was a fun time. I'm glad we're doing it again.
Definitely.
Felt like it was too long.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and it's like we've said before. You plan on stuff, and then life happens. It's like your computer. I mean, you show me the pictures of it. You're lucky your entire place didn't catch fire. To be honest.
Oh, I know, right? And just thankful for that. But it was just the plug that melted. The rest of it is fine. So I got everything is good.
Weird is that, but yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, you don't plan for stuff like that, but so we've got Owen out to do, and then we'll do like a best of, and then hopefully, before season 3. Well, before season 3 comes out, we can maybe do season 1.
They are postponing season 3 because of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So They're not going to be filming season 3 for a while yet.
Yeah, well,
But
exactly. Because I mean, you could still film it. You're going to be 2 meters away from people, aren't you?
yeah, but they want to do it like, and I get why they're.
Yeah, I understand completely. So yeah, we'll have to rewatch season 1, whatever you want to call it, and
Season 1 and season 2. I'm looking forward to putting those in order. Which one was the best, and like that's gonna be
yeah,
a
you
lot
see,
of
after
episodes.
season 2, it's going to be a case of, oh, this is pretty much how it's been the whole way through. But when you throw season 1 in, it really, really mixes up your all-time favorite. You know how they go in order. Because there's some really good episodes in season 1. Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, like I told you, a few of them in season 1, I'd not even heard of. So,
really.
to me,
Oh yeah, you did tell
don't.
me that some of them you never heard of
Yeah,
until.
Gino Hernandez. I'd never heard of him. Bruce Brody, I had heard of, and I knew that he'd been murdered, but man, we'll get to it more in depth. But a lot of stuff in there I had no actual idea of. So it was just really, really eye opening, and the Moolah one were just shocking.
Angry. And
Yeah,
angry.
it did actually make me angry at what she did, but so we'll come to all that when we do season 1.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed our review. We are back indeed until one more, and then we're going to put the other ones on a list, seeing which one's the best, and also the one that's okay. But Richard, thank you for being a part of this review, brother.
No
Really appreciate it. Where can they find you on Twitter?
Well, it's at Pete Rick. I've remembered it. I haven't tweeted anything for a while because technology in my mobile phone is not taking a charge, and I don't do Twitter on the laptop. So I've meet up on my Instagram, but I'm buggered if I can remember what name it is. And then obviously there's OWO UK, and then there's my other channel, which is Rick Pete.
And also, Richard has a merchandise store, which is in the link below too.
Yes, I keep forgetting to put the link on my videos, which is really stupid. So yeah, go buy yourself a t-shirt, buy your wife a t-shirt, buy somebody else's wife a t-shirt.
Or buy that lucky girl or guy that you like so much and buy them a t-shirt too.
Yeah, buy Josh a t-shirt.
I'm still working on that. I'm still working on the store.
Yes. Hashtag we want pro wrestling. Still waiting for an order from them.
Oh, you are?
Well, obviously with the corona, it did say that it could take up to a month. So
this one took a long time to bring up. So
yeah, I mean, you're in States and people are saying it's taking longer than normal. I'm in UK, so
mine took 2 months.
Wow.
No, wait. Yeah, it took 2 months to get. So
did you order that when the pandemic started? Oh Christ! I might get it in time for my birthday then. It did say 30 days, but I've been tracking it, and it only goes as far as Chicago, and then it stops. And I'm like, well, it's sat in a parcel yard somewhere in Chicago till they sort it.
But also, Dark Side of the Ring has a pro wrestling tees too, so that's also in the link down below. They have too. They just opened it right after I think the Owen Hart one or the Road Warrior documentary ended. They have one. Go support them, and they also have a Twitter too and a YouTube channel. Go subscribe to them. Show them some love.
I might have to have a look at the.
Martha Hart just released the first Owen Hart T-shirt in God knows how long.
Is it the one where he's holding the Slammers?
Not just that. There's more than one Owen Hart T-shirt on there too.
Oh, I'll have to go and have a look for an Owen Hart T-shirt now.
And I gotta tell you, dude, they are amazing. They're awesome.
Oh, here we go. This is where Richard spends money he doesn't have.
Me.
Me every month. I need to save so much. Ooh, that's pretty. Cha-ching.
Okay, I gotta save up some money. I gotta say, oh, a New Jersey. Bye.
Yeah. I want to save up for so-and-so. Ooh, that's nice. I like that.
I'll take that belt. That's the next belt I want.
Yeah. When you think, right, I'm not buying any more belts. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to save up. I'm going to buy myself a PS4. Cha-ching.
Me with the JCW title.
Yeah. Well, I figured I've got the Wired, I might as well get the World. And then it was like, well, I need a tag team title now, don't I, really? So, but I haven't ordered that. I'm doing well so far.
Well, yeah, Maniacs, thank you guys for watching. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Oregon Wrestling Observer. Also, follow me on Twitter at OWFN19. Also, go like the Oregon Wrestling Observer Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram. Also, I love you guys. Thank you so much. We love you. And goodbye.